ability has been nerfed to the ground pretty much. Lightning Bolt doesn't deal bonus damage to Arc Lightning cast range has been decreased. Live Wire is now tied, so it's not as good. Damage has been rescaled. Cooldown on Thunder God's Wrath. Lightning Hands no longer applied by illusions. His talents got nerfed on top of that. So every single patch note is just because he's been so strong for such a long time. So we needed to tone down the numbers. Also want to see what the build is going to be now that he does not have Lightning Hands with the illusions. So no more Mantis style. Most likely going to opt to go for more Aghanim Scepter oriented builds. Some of the like earlier Ags feels still really nice. You know. And we can go through some of the other faucets that have been picked up. Some other innate abilities that are pretty cool. Centaur, he's been pretty much always taking the horsepower, I would say. We've seen a couple of Counter-Strike. Yesterday, the one that looked really good, which basically gives you double edge if you can soak up some of that damage. But the horsepower seems, I would say, slightly stronger because you don't need you have a slot open for your neutral for your other items. So you don't necessarily need to buy boots. You're getting the move speed from your strength. And Tiny as a carry, of course, he's going to go for insurmountable, gaining status resistance and slow resistance.
Yeah, status resistance is something that I think we kind of went away from pretty heavily.
That's why Night Stalker is super popular now, because he has that level 15 talent. He has one downside, getting to that 15 talent. A lot of the times he does struggle getting between, like, if things are not going well for him, level 11, level 12, and then reaching that 15 talent can be quite difficult for the Night Stalker sometimes, but 35% status resistance during nighttime. And been theory crafting a bit with SNY. Your status resistance goes up to almost 52%. This is better than when status resistance was meta with SNY and Satanic giving status resistance at the time.
Yeah, there was points where we had talent that gave status resistance. We were getting to that point where abilities were doing nothing. I remember that patch pretty well. I remember not feeling effective.
We had status resistance, but we also had longer stuns. That was at the same time, and then we toned down the numbers on the stuns so they don't last as long.
Right.
And let's check this one. What's gonna happen? Seems like Smoke. Jin ready to go, potentially with the Nightmare. Lonfair, Selezutra, my favorite names to pronounce. Most definitely. Playing the carry Tiny. And they're gonna get the D ward. Sheep getting the gold.
Easy 100 gold to start. And Nyx Assassin, they did go for the Impale, and they're also going to get a D ward of their own. And
keeping things in balance. Throw that 3. Try to get some damage done, and he's going to pick it up. Interesting build that he has at his quick buy on Lonfair, Selezutra. Orb of Corrosion. Huh.
That's really all the... Yeah, I haven't seen that, and that's like...
It's a lot.
Is like the only thing I got on that right now. It doesn't make... It's not the standard, right?
No, definitely not. I've not seen it before. And I play a lot of Dota, and I watch a lot of pubs, I watch a lot of professional Dota. Maybe the thinking is it's a cheap item. It works with your tree grab, it works with your 3 throw, so that's nice. But it is a lot. It's a costly item. Like this costs almost 900 gold, 875.
It's a lot of commitment. It's one of those things that it was an item when we used to see PA a lot more that people would be pretty conflicted on when you'd see PAs go for it or skip it.
I would be okay with that if there's something to reduce the lifesteal, spell lifesteal, health regen. Oh, get his ass. Get him.
You have a real hate for this Witch Doctor.
Yeah, you see why. Look, this guy's not dying. He's going to bounce. Okay, the acorn shot, the 3 bounce trick shot. It's the one that you don't have the extra cast range, so Sheep will get the first blood, but really happy that Witch Doctor died there. 10 out of 10.
I couldn't tell how happy you were, honestly. It was not something I understood.
I'm not
But
a
yeah,
team.
TK.
I'm not team biased, but I am hero biased.
You're pretty happy about the Pudge. Now you're happy about this Witch Doctor dying. And if you want Lacoste's beneficiary words or beneficial words, you need to not pick Witch Doctor. That's for sure.
It's gonna the time's gonna come. I can feel it when Grigri is gonna be used to purchase a Hand of Midas. So you invest gold to get more gold. We'll need to do the math on that when it's the best time to actually do it. It's a meme build, but look at him.
Figure it out.
He's zoning 2 heroes with his ability. What is this? Well, when I first played against it, I thought it was because the Witch Doctor that I played against got the first blood, and he had Null Talisman for extra mana regen, but he was zoning 2 of us, and I'm like, this is not okay. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
With the Voodoo Festration?
Yes, it's so powerful. Level 1 might be the best faucet on top of what it does with the skill. Because it's just too good. Like, the early levels is so important for securing some of the early CS for your carry. Kyo, he does have now level 2 on Weaver, basically level 3, what it was before, and feels really strong, but
so much damage,
almost
quickly,
dying.
almost dying.
That bracer, yeah.
He's trying for it. I think Aiden knows he's dead, so he was really trying to get that kill.
Item difference, making him survive there.
Oh,
there it is! There it is! Abu Talaba Shuneba.
For all of us at home who don't know what that means, go for it.
It is. I don't know what that means, actually, but it's something that Witch Doctor says. Witch Doctor is just too cool, and he's also the face of these qualifiers, which I'm really happy about. I'll ask production. This is going to be my new background. It feels so nice.
I remember back in the day when we were doing DPC, and Witch Doctor was the face of Prediction King. He's always felt like the face. And, ooh, almost the follow-up post stomp.
This could have been potentially a double kill. Yeah, definitely a double kill if he lands a stomp. They had double edge ready, plus a blood grenade. They would drop. And when we're talking about the loading screens and stuff, the reason why Kunkka is named Kunkka is because there was an artist that was doing loading screens for Dota for such a long time. Back in Dota 1 days. Han, blood grenade on top of him, but he will survive.
KK actually really low, needs to pick up this water rune. Oh boy. Man, was that close.
Oh, it definitely was. Changes to Arc Lightning in the 7.36. I got dyslexic there for a second. It no longer deals damage based on the enemy current HP, so Kunkka would definitely die there, would be much lower HP overall. And Weaver dying. Let's see, Witch Doctor.
TK might be next, and is. They're playing a bit too aggressive, and this Maledict gets him. Because it wasn't a lot of damage on that Maledict, but it was enough.
At least Akio picked up the experience from that. He TP'd, used Shikuchi to try to get close and pick it up, and Bonfair Selezutra with Orb of Corrosion. The reason why we're saying it like that, we watched some of the YouTube videos how to pronounce it and what it means, because when I first saw the name, I'm like, okay, I'm getting flashbacks from the DPC, but I have no clue how to pronounce that.
I love your French attempt voice.
Yeah, 2 out of 10.
The ratings are on point. Yeah, he's having a good time. He's 30-2, not taking too much damage. Meanwhile, you know, elsewhere it's been a lot of a bloodbath, especially in this top lane.
So I'm thinking, hold that thought.
Yeah, hold on.
A lot of damage.
Another blood grenade.
Another double edge incoming.
Double edge. TK is gonna be dead again. Aina's gonna try and survive after the Maledict, but I don't think that's likely. As, yep, that will be a kill there for Yukio.
Yukio, quite a lot of XP. Second time he's getting solo XP from a kill, farming the wave until Witch Doctor comes back, and also farming the camp on the side.
Being pretty much a bloodbath up top, and do you think Yukio's getting the better of it with the Centaur constantly dying?
Centaur is sitting at 23 CS, there's 12 denies, 31 CS, level 6 now in Weaver, so I don't think with the itemization, especially when he brings power treads, they don't bring him down from 100 to 0 anymore. Just not enough damage, which means time-lapse is going to be used on Ferricilazutra, and they will get the kill.
Getting that kill bottom on the Nyx Assassin, who we really haven't felt much of a presence from. He's only level 3.
Yeah, I wonder why. You know why? Because he's Nyx Assassin. So he doesn't really do much, but he gets pretty obnoxious. It's all about the levels, getting the levels. Oh my god, and speaking of levels, Zen... Okay, he's level 3, so the good thing is if he was level 4 there, he would not be able to TP, so...
Oh.
He would not respawn as quickly. So if his XP rune got stolen, his game would be... I'm not going to say completely ruined, but he would need a lane for himself. Might need to soak up the mid XP while his mid laner goes and does something around the map.
So Zen looking to get those early boots. Well, fair. Ferricilazutra, he's level 6. As he's got that Orb of Corrosion, but now the Primal Split is used. Dang you, trying to get this kill. Avalanche coming through on him a couple. TK is also here. Cyclone onto the Bane. And the Bushwhack for a turnaround attempt. Thunder God's Wrath gets the kill on a TK. They'll trade for 999. And they get 2 out of that.
And not too bad of a trade. First usage of the split, they get 2 support kills. First Zeus ulti, but yeah, definitely didn't want Tiny to die. Tiny has a lot of attack speed. Maybe I'm just thinking about this Orb of Corrosion, like, because it gives you 25 attack speed. Power treads, it gives you 25 attack speed, so it's quite a lot. Small KK. This time
he's that extra bit that you need, right?
Yeah, might be a cool item to bring in between. But then again, if we are talking about the attack speed, you could pick up casual Gloves of Haste and have 20 attack speed, so 5% less for, of course, less gold.
Small KK didn't charge up that sharpshooter that long, and now they've got the ghost ship, but it won't matter. And he's gonna get that kill, and he'll take out the Kunkka. There are things that I like that Bright are doing, but it feels as though Dark Horse are making the countermeasures much more palpable for their game.
They also had Stampede available, so even if they didn't get that kill immediately, they would still run him down with the Stampede. The one who's getting a lot of farm is Brewmaster, I would say. Like, he's on the bottom, but they are relatively close, and he's also not investing in all of these like smaller items, no urn or anything, just one bracer going straight into Radiance. So for the next few minutes, if he doesn't die, he's gonna have pretty good timing on that Radiance. It's gonna be like 13-14 minute Radiance.
Yeah, he's got to get there without, like you said, having any fallbacks, and it does feel as though that there isn't really much to go after the Brew unless they catch him out again. There's Sharpshooter being charged up. The damage not going to be enough. Able to time-lapse just in time.
Oof. If that was a point in the Hoof Stomp or point in Double Edge instead of Retaliate, would definitely be a kill. Sometimes you need that little bit of oomph.
They've got this kill easily on the Bane.
I'll tell you what, you know the Witch Doctor song?
Mm-mm.
You don't? Oh,
no,
yeah.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. So roll out the barrel or feel it in your bones, he says. And he's also playing with the Brewmaster, who has roll out the barrel faucet. So that's pretty cool.
All right. Well, you know, we're making some connections. That's all. What was that? That video got released in like 2013?
Probably.
Maybe 2014? I definitely had that on repeat for a little bit. Surprised you like a song so much for a hero that you hate.
No, this is one of the best songs, best Dota songs. Just brings out so much memories. So many memories. And Brewmaster getting the tower in the bottom.
Getting that tower. Nid's actually sitting here pretty low. But he's gone to an early blade mail on this Centaur. So we'll see how that goes for him. And I've been curious about Han, and does look as though he's just straight up going for that Ags on Zeus.
Which is...
No, Phylactery, sorry.
Yeah, that's his first item still. Just too good of an item, good stats, good mana that he needs, and of course the extra damage. Fairness on the Zutra continues to farm up in the bottom lane.
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there's something missing here, and then it was the Phylactery. But now he's got that extra oomph into his shots, right? So he's going to be able to join his team, and honestly, with Phylactery, start to make moves, right?
Yeah, he's ready to go. Does have Thunder God's Wrath available, so... And something we didn't talk about is Small KK. His Kunkka going for more right-click oriented build. Going for maybe another death here.
Potentially. Good bushwhack.
Nice
Thunder
jump
God's Wrath,
over the
but
impale.
Damage not looking like it's going to be enough. They've got the Avalanche coming in, though, from this Tiny onto 3. They still lose that Zeus. They'll look over at 999. Fiend's Group going to be used on that Witch Doctor, and they've got Brewmaster coming from around the back. TK's just overwhelmingly healing, and he'll die eventually, but it does take a lot out of them.
Oof, a little surprised the Bride decided to take that fight. If they waited another minute or so, Brewmaster would have Radiance with the split available, and then the fight is different. Or just having a Brewmaster in that fight would make a lot of difference. Zeus did jump over the Impale and managed to survive slightly longer. Not really feeling the impact of the Kunkka so far.
No, not really.
So he's going for Armlet build, which is an old school build on Kunkka, and then into SNY. SNY now feels much better, having, of course, being the only item that gives status resistance, and it also provides you with slow resistance, which is a big upgrade.
Yeah.
Plus also having that high tide. Oof. Tidebringer cooldown is reduced per enemy hero that it hits, 0.8 seconds. So Nyx is doing Nyx things, getting that solo kill. Still doesn't have any big items, of course, going for Dagon. And that was also a big chunk of solo XP for him. Might stick around to see what's happening and maybe try to steal the enemy XP rune here.
So now, after this Phylactery, it's Kaya Ags for Han.
Yeah, because I've been thinking, is there another item that you can get in before your Aghanim Scepter?
Right.
Xin is going to TP. He does have Dust available, so 999 will need to run away. He was trying to be sneaky, but the whole squad knows the importance of these XP rune.
They're starting to trend their way towards top. Maybe they find Yukio, but we saw how hard that kill is already, where they were able to get that time lapse off on the Weaver, who's looking to get into the Desolator. But they don't have a Blink Dagger just yet. A little bit short on gold from getting that, and maybe once they pick that up on this Centaur, they should be able to start making aggressive moves themselves. I thought that might come with the fact that they had this Phylactery, but Han looking to sit back a little bit more and continue to farm. So top tier 1 will take some damage and a random dust there, thinking maybe Nyx Assassin would be nearby, and he is close, but not in dust range.
Yeah, it's time to go now. They have another Vendetta. They do have Split available with Radiance. In terms of AoE, they could potentially kill this Bruling Split with Zeus, with Tiny, and of course with the Centaur.
They caught the Nyx Assassin. Catching him a little bit off guard. The Sharpshooter hits, but not before the Impale comes down onto the Bane. Stampede, and there is that
they
little
caught Zeus.
spider on him. They get the kill. Han's in trouble now. Caught off on the side, away from the rest of his team. They'll get the kill on a Han. They've got 4 heroes here for anybody who wants to come in for more from Dark Horse, but I don't think Dark Horse want to fight anymore.
Zeus was so ready to take the fight. Han had Arcane Rune available, but Kunkka caught him off guard. This observer ward that has been just placed by TK on the high ground, and he is pinging it out. He wants it to be dewarded immediately. Some good vision around the triangle where they're going to start to play much more aggressive with the seconds, with split still being available. I could see them take potentially another fight, and they have another big item coming out on Ukiyo. Deso just finished, so that's going to increase his damage by quite a lot. Centaur doesn't have much armor to work with.
I'll take that.
This Grease is being helped. I always love looking for an update. 999 under the mountainside of this Tiny. Not being caught at all, and just able to kind of shadow him. Until there is a sentry. You happen to stumble into it, and, well, that's the results. You end up dying.
Thank you, Nix, for solo XP, solo kill. Tiny now level 13. Same level as Ukiyo on Weaver.
Who's going for this shard, and we've seen the strengths of this shard before.
This is the build. When you go for Deso, you need to pick up the shard. It puts you in a spot sometimes. Uh-oh. He's getting caught. Is there a follow-up?
There will be a blink from Centaur, but let's see if it's going to be enough damage. The blink is a little bit late. He still has time-lapse. It just doesn't time out the right way. And he doesn't even need to use the time-lapse. So the turnaround's on Xin. They get the kill. Yukio's fine.
They had Zeus ulti, which deals quite a lot of damage, but they were not able to bring him down. Centaur not close enough to Bane. They were hesitating. And also, when you look at the Bright, like the way they responded, it was not fast enough. Should be able to get the kill.
Can't kill Yukio, and now they're going to get a kill on a sheep. They'll look over at Aenid. They've got TK coming around. This is not the symphony of skills that they were hoping it would be.
Oh,
and
that ward is still there.
Still there. You'd think that somebody would take care of it. Now the Zeus is dead. They're looking for Aenid. They go to the ult from TK. One after the next after the next. I mean, they know the ward is there. They knew it was placed, and they finally deward it, but that's going to cost them the Bane.
Well, they got that ward. They're losing 4 members to get the D ward. That observer ward gave them so many kills and so much XP going their way. And also 4 Deso stacks now for Ukiyo. Level 15 now, finds a Grobo. That was also a fight without Brewmaster, without a split, without Radiance. Things are looking rough for Dark Horse right now. I don't know, I feel Tiny in most of these games, if he's not popping off. Let's see if he can get a kill here.
Oh, bye.
Zeus had ulti available, but again, thinking that it's not going to be enough. Making him super tanky with all these small items. Bracer, Null Talisman, Dragon Lance, Magic Wand, Power Treads on strength.
This is not... I want to say the start because we're 19 minutes in, but this is not the game that Dark Horse were looking for. And I want to say all the while, we were talking about it earlier. Well,
Nix is hunting.
You were talking about it earlier. Is the fact that Brewmaster is just being kept quiet and now has this Radiance. He's ready to fight. Ooh, another hop over an Impel.
Dagon ready already. With Philosopher's Stone, so that's going to be another level of Dagon in the second, pretty much, for Nyx Assassin. He becomes so obnoxious to play against, having that Scuttle. Vendetta for the first 15 seconds, he's hasted. Oh! Ooh, they go for him. He gets it off.
Oh my. What? Fiend's Grip has been used on this dude. Thunder God's Wrath, Avalanche Toss. They want to try and kill this Weaver, but it's like when you swatted a bug and you think you killed him because you hit it as hard as you could, and clearly you made contact with the bug, but it scuttles away. I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
Yep.
You had a cockroach in your apartment and all of a sudden you hit it real hard.
No, I'm keeping my apartment clean.
Well, we have problems in New York with some cockroaches sometimes. But, yeah, it's a pesky bug right now. Yukio is not dying.
dodging all of these ganks. Only one death to his name. That was during the laning phase. Might have been like first, second blood.
I don't know if dodging's really the right word, though, right? He's surviving all these ganks.
Yeah, also the execution from Dark Horse wasn't really there. Like, what do you expect to happen? Bane sleeps him for like 5 seconds, and then they're like, okay, let's use a Fiend's Grip for another 4 seconds. Of course, there's going to be some kind of rotation, some kind of a help coming out.
Right. And then there was that help, and they ended up getting a couple of kills with it. So Yukio able to continue to farm the top end of the map. And I was saying, you know, Brew's got a lot going on already. Well, almost has that Manta finished off. They find Nyx Assassin. Spike Carapace. Is not... How are they doing this?
Unfair Selezutra. Hell is other people. But he doesn't get to toss onto Nyx Assassin, and Nyx survives, having that first 15 seconds of unobstructed padding on his Vendetta. Makes the difference there, so he runs away. They're trying to exterminate these bugs, but they keep running away.
I have to call a second option. They cannot kill these heroes, and they are down 8,000 net worth. Zhang Yu gonna get that Manta in full.
Yeah, he didn't even go for Yasha or anything, just straight up Manta style. No diadem, no nothing. So he's like, yeah, this Brewmaster is not as farm, but he's on pretty much top of the net worth. And things are gonna get much easier for him. So he can spam the Manta style, push multiple waves with Radiance. Doesn't have to get himself into any kind of trouble.
Radiant are scanning.
Smoked up, and there's the Nightmare. They're still looking, and now Nyx Assassin with the Vendetta once again finds the Zeus while they go after the Bane. Two-pronged attack looking for answers, and here comes Zhang Yu. They get the kill on the Nyx Assassin, though, as they turn it around and finally have the damage to kill off this bug.
Would you look at that? TK Witch Doctor, pause 5, Grigri in his inventory still, and his first item of a choice after finishing off Mana Boots, Eternal Shroud. Eternal Shroud and Safety Bubble, so he becomes... He's more tanky than a Centaur with his heal, I'm not even kidding.
I'm telling you, you ask any of these Witch Doctor players, their Grigri is... they get the Weaver.
This time, they bring the numbers. 2 stuns, Zeus ulti, and he's gonna drop. They'd have the BKB available, but no time to cast it.
I'm wondering if these Witch Doctor players know that Grigri is activatable. Or if they think the number in their passive bar is just there for laughs.
Yeah, they're clicking it, but... left, but you need to right-click this item.
Telling you.
It's never a good time
like
to use
stock.
it. Don't use this. Save it for the later stages when it really matters. So far, so good. 8k gold lead for Team Bright. He continues to farm up, and now he's way too farmed. He just brought another Wraith Band. Bracer, Wraith Band, Eternal Shroud. And he was thinking about getting Guardian Greaves. This guy's gonna be a menace. We've seen them having trouble killing these bugs, but Witch Doctor's gonna be the difficult one to try to kill. Like if you're playing some core Witch Doctor, if you're having a lot of farm, feel free to test it out. Witch Doctor with the Bloodstone and this Voodoo Restoration, so the AoE gets even bigger. And of course, having the spell Lifesteal feels really nice.
So that was my question, actually, with... I was just watching the damage coming out from the Voodoo Restoration, and I was just like, well, what if you just did that old Witch Doctor offlane Radiance build as Nyx Assassin looking like they're caught again. Stampede even committed on this one. Impale is used, but eventually they will kill the Nyx once more.
You have Radiance. You don't need to buy a second Radiance. By that I mean Voodoo Festration. It deals 60 damage. Same goes for Radiance when it's maxed out.
There's never enough damage over time.
Radiant's middle tower.
You fester with the Restoration, and you pester with the Radiance Burn. It's the way to get it done. Unfair. Avalanche. Toss up. And, avoiding the initial kill with the Voodoo switcheroo, but Dark Horse are starting to find these pickoffs pretty consistently. I think Team Bright are staying a little bit too spread out for too long.
Dark Horse
haven't really retaliated yet.
Yeah, they did manage to stabilize the game a little bit. They are waiting for the next set of items. Ionid wants his heart. Small KK getting jumped.
And they've got the Fiend's Grip, the Bushwhack, the Sharpshooter, and another Avalanche Toss combo. And another pickoff for the side of Dark Horse. It's starting to be constant. And they'll start to put some pressure on the tier 2 over mid.
This is the power of Tiny. You lose one hero, maybe two heroes, suddenly you're gonna lose the tower because he does have more than enough damage.
Bruce just running forward. Spike Carapace going to the back lines looking for the Hoodwink. They at least get Sheep, but they want more. BKB was popped for the TP out. They get themselves in. They'll at least take out a second, but it's both supports. And they lose the tower.
Is under attack.
So not the best defense they probably could have made.
They did get something out of it for the side of Team Bright.
Next assassin is gonna hunt. He's also very good at jungling with Nyx. You can use Mind Flare to insta-kill creeps with mana, and you can also insta-kill creeps with Dagon. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So he goes and uses that Vendetta again. They haven't taken this tier 1 top. A little bit surprising with how much aggression was there from Team Bright. Finding the Centaur now and waiting for somebody to come over. Looking for a high five as he blocks that camp. I don't even think I even noticed that camp got blocked from him standing in it.
I'll take that.
And he will now, but yeah, nobody's coming over. I thought Nyx Assassin would get some help, but nobody's there.
He's scouting for now.
Make that dive.
He wants to make the steal of the enemy XP rune. The next 20 seconds, he just got scouted.
Going in, having that Fiend's Grip. They have the damage as the Radiance keeping him alive long enough. Sharpshooter on the edge. Thought maybe he'd get that Primal Split off, but again, another pick off for Dark Horse.
He was not in Void Brawler stance. If he had that status resistance, it does make a difference. The Fiend Grip doesn't last as long. He gets the split off. Nyx Assassin on the other side of the map. Again, thinking about stealing the XP rune, but two supports from Dark Horse immediately TPing in. Ready. They know the importance of it. 999, hunting. This is a solo kill if he gets the Vendetta hit.
This is the Impale, the turnaround with the Gleipnir Bushwhack, and this is looking like it's going to be another pick-off for Dark Horse. That seems like 10 in a row.
And now Roshan time for them. No Nyx for 40, no Brewmaster for 20. They definitely have the damage. They also have some like really good scaling. Centaur in the mid-late game is really difficult hero to kill, especially with the overtime damage that they have. Like, they have some burst damage coming out from Nyx Assassin, but with Eternal Shroud, he doesn't care about that damage. And also, Hoodwink. We've seen so many times Hoodwink from position 4 carrying the games. He does have Grobo. Gleipnir already finished.
Fight this. They've got the Nimbus down, and they've got Tiny in the back lines. They're trying to do the damage. The cask is bouncing. They go to the ult from TK. They'll get the kill to the Tiny. They follow it up with a second kill. BKB damage isn't going to be enough. Oh, but is it going to be long enough? No. Thought the X might be. Zin ends up dead to 999. Now they've got the Cyclone on the Sheep, and finally a fight where Bright are going to come out with 3 kills technically, but I say that. Just use Sheep running in the trees, and he comes back in only to die? Oh no!
I think we all experience that when you're like clicking and you feel your hero goes back for no particular reason. You're like, what happened? Like, you have auto attack on, the hero stops to attack the Brewlings, and you were right. They did get 2 kills plus Aegis, so that's technically 3 kills overall, and they are getting tankier and tankier on side of Bright. Kunkka, I don't know if Kunkka, in terms of his damage with this item build, I haven't really felt it compared to his Bloodstone Aghanim Scepter Shard build. I feel like the damage numbers should be pretty low for Kunkka in this game in terms of how much damage he was able to get onto the heroes. And speaking of damage...
Toss, Hoof Stomp. KK, dead. Another kill there. And as the pickoffs continue, the only ones who have really died have been Tiny with that Aegis and both supports multiple times on Dark Horse recently. And Team Bright haven't been able to really break through on any of the cores for the most part. They group up, and Nyx Assassin trying to get some information here.
Does he go for it this time? He does.
He went for this, and I'm a little surprised that they just kind of stand there because the smoke was used, and it immediately got popped on, I want to say, Tiny or Hoodwink, because of where Nyx was standing, and they just kind of let this happen.
Takes you a second to react if supports are not immediately popping the dust, dropping down a sentry. Brewmaster, he's in. BKB. One fair.
Gonna stick with him? No, tossed up into the air. Nightmare on a TK.
Has a bug, so he can't blink.
Yeah, he can't blink away the stun. It hits, and now they've got the damage. Hoof Stomp, Avalanche, Bane is here. Yukio not committing to this. He doesn't want to go in just yet. He doesn't want to risk getting hit with an Avalanche toss.
I gotta respect Nyx. 999 did go for the solo kill in the middle of 5 heroes, and then knew that he's gotta die. Yeah, he's like, okay, solo gold, solo XP for me. I'll take it. So how many Eternal Shrouds do we have? 3 Eternal Shrouds on Team Bright.
Ain't it? Ooh. Ogre Seal Totem, and you tried to blink in afterwards with the Hoof Stomp. Bushwhack lands on 2. Avalanche on the 3, toss up into the air. Oh, almost getting the Brewmaster. They've got the Fiend's Grip on a TK. He's pretty tanky, though. Goes into the Voodoo Switcheroo. They've got the damage to get the kill on Aenid, who's going to buy back immediately. They go for the Tiny. They've got themselves a second. Han in trouble. 3 dead. He doesn't have buyback. That means there's no Thunder God's Wrath. TK still alive as they take out Sheep. Aenid, by the way, who just bought back, ups that Blade Mail. Hoof Stomp down. They are going to lose TK.
He killed himself to Blade Mail.
Yeah, with Voodoo Restoration after surviving all that time. And then they do finally get the kill on Aenid a second time and the tower.
The one who popped up was Ukio. He was sticking onto the targets with the BKB. The Swarm did so much, reducing the armor. How much damage was that? 12,000 damage coming out from him. But Witch Doctor is super tanky with this build, having Solar Crest, so physical damage reduction, having extra armor, Raid Band post 25 minutes, and also Eternal Shroud plus Gossamer Cape. So the hit does miss, and we're going to see it one more time. This is why Kunkka is a powerful tool against the Centaur, but I'm looking at the Witch Doctor. Throughout this whole fight, he gets gripped. Pause 5 Witch Doctor, and he still survives here. Gets the shard off, and Tiny's like, guys, we gotta kill this Witch Doctor. He was buying so much time. Kyo.
It's so insane, the Witch Doctor. Who would win? A literal mountain of a hero, or the Witch Doctor? Because he was standing there, just taking a beating from Witch Doctor. Oh, 999 forcing the BKB. He's gonna die here, but
he lost the gem as well. That's definitely not. If you are planning to go for kills like this, you leave the gem. You need to play with your courier or leave it in the base, give it to somebody else. Because they have no invis. They have nothing. Like, they have one Glimmer Cape on Bane, but that's about it.
Yeah, no reason to bring the gem out. But you can see now a 23,000 net worth lead here for Team Bright when they're fighting as 5 and not getting picked off. They find advantages pretty easily, right?
Yeah, you do. 23k gold lead for Team Bright. Roshan
Is under attack.
available potentially in less than 2 minutes.
Are scanning.
So those smoke up is 4. Yukio.
Radiant are scanning.
Maybe thinking about swiping that Wisdom Rune. Oh, Dust, Avalanche, Toss, Fiend's Grip, dead. That is a lot of gold to give up, trying to sneak a Wisdom Rune.
They've been playing, like, you've seen a lot of these plays where you go on a solo adventure and you get punished so many times. Nick, it was mostly 999, going across the river, going into deep enemy territory, going for some solo kills. Now he's level 20. Does have Dagon 4 available, soon Dagon 5.
Dire structures are fortified.
They're playing around the map almost as if there's nobody on the other team with how deep they're going.
Yeah, they get surprised every single time there is an enemy hero on their side of the map. They're like, oh, wow. They exist. They're not stuck in the base.
Can't believe they're here. Ain't it? Sees 999, Spike Carapace. 4 heroes getting affected by the Spike Carapace, but they will still squash this Nyx Assassin. When the pickoffs are there, Dark Horse are doing it, but when the team fights happen, it's been mostly, if not only, Team Bright. They are cutting into the net worth lead.
Roshan respawn 20 seconds, so it's going to be on Dire's side. Dark Horse are going to stick around, try to plant some observer wards. If they have any, they do not.
I wonder if they know to go. Or if they're going to go. They smoke up. They have no Nyx Assassin for 30 seconds. And he's been a pretty important part here at times. And that was Zhang Yu trying to play aggressive, but not finding anything just yet. 15 seconds. Nyx Assassin can TP towards Roche, if need be, and they don't have the Zeus there just yet. So he starts to TP and make his way over, as this looks like if Bright come away with a clean fight, that would just be game with Aegis in their hands.
Okay. Getting closer to his level 25. Has that 20, this is the new 20 talent, plus 15% rum damage delay. So it goes up to 50.
Caught for a second, Avalanche
there,
out by
he's in.
Carapace again. They toss this Nyx Assassin up in the air, but he does have himself that Lotus Orb. He'll die to start the Fiend's Grip onto the Kunkka. They go to the ult from TK. They get the kill on the A and they're taking the Centaur. BKB's gonna run out. They'll finish off this Tiny. They'll look for the rest. Han's gonna try and run. 2 minutes without this Tiny. That's a problem.
Jin will be able to TP out. Let's see if they decide to go for Roche or if they want to go and siege the high ground. Tiny with no buyback, so they should keep an eye on that one. 2 minutes. They do have more than enough damage. AC completed on Kunkka, Deso as well on Weaver. So buildings are gonna melt. 5,000 damage on Kunkka with status and slow resistance. Eternal Shroud, mischance from Melvin Tunic. He's getting all the buffs in the world. You can't focus this guy. And now with the 25, the Ghost Ship Fleet, they're gonna be even more tanky, even more damage coming out.
They should know that he didn't have buyback, but they're going to go back for Roche anyway. I mean, it's quick. We're
Regardless.
This could have been one side plus Roshan. You kill it so quickly, you probably also force the glyph out.
I'm wondering if it still can be. They still have 60 seconds. But they're choosing to farm instead of pressuring. And I think that, yes, you have this Aegis. It's not the worst thing in the world to just secure another item or buy back. But you do have this time knowing that Tiny had bought back previously. So
Tiny died so quickly also. In the middle of a fight, he got cast. Witch Doctor ulti, Brewlings on top of it. No, it's satanic. It's not enough. Weaver deals way too much damage. I think Weaver needs to die. The problem is now he does have Aegis, so gonna be pretty difficult to kill him from 100 to 0.
So 10 seconds and Tiny will be back up. On top of which, all that time was spent. He will technically have buyback pretty soon on the timer, but he still needs 1,200 gold for it. Ancient Guardian chosen there by the Hoodwink.
Middle tower is under attack.
As Team Bright start to put some pressure on. Blink forward from this Tiny, but no response coming in from Team Bright to immediately punish that.
I'm looking at Witch Doctor. He does have 40 armor. It goes up to 52 if he uses Toughen Up with Craggy Coat.
That's
Lotus
insane.
Orb, Solar Crest, Craggy.
That really is insane for a Witch Doctor. And he survived so many times in these fights. Avalanche, toss, X back, and Kunkka is okay. They've got Brew pushing top, and they are split pushing this. And by split pushing it, I mean Brew's still farming camps as he goes down this lane. Not exactly putting the full force into it just yet. Tiny spotted. Avalanche.
Tiny's alone
toss. Yeah, he is, but he's got multiple tosses to just solo kill a Brewmaster. He's now dead for 100 seconds. There's a gem on the deck. They find themselves the Nyx Assassin, and again, Team Bright just out of position. The Gleipnir is in. The refresher is used by Han. The time-lapse already comes out from Yukio. They will get this kill. They'll take away this Aegis. The BKB is popped by the Tiny. They'll have another life on the Weaver. But it feels like Team Bright have kind of let their advantage go away pretty easily. Try to get a kill on the Tiny, which they desperately need. With the BKB being used here by Yukio, the toss up into the air, they get the kill, but not before he's got enough gold now for buyback. They'll TP into the fight. This is a Weaver in trouble. Tossed up into the air and killed. He's dead. Sheep dies, but also has buyback. There's no buyback available for the Weaver. This Tiny's starting to go off. This
How much damage? How much damage is this from Tiny? Like, he's been going ham for the last minute and a half, solo killing basically a Brewmaster with the help of the Zeus ulti. I don't think the numbers are gonna. Yeah, it's been lasting for not long enough. 9,000. I think it's actually more with the because he bought back, probably did reset, and now this Tiny is a huge problem. Like, he did use the buyback, so they could play off of that. Buyback available for Kunkka if necessary, but very sloppy execution from Team Bright. Just feeding away the kills.
They're just
We've seen it so many times.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Doesn't make sense to me that they're so willing to be alone. It starts with the Brew. He ends up dying. I don't know. You're gonna lose buildings pretty quickly. This is a Tiny, right?
Gone already. 40 seconds without Kunkka. Buildings are dying. They could go to the top lane afterwards, but Lanfair needs to be careful. Nyx Assassin off screen, hunting, trying to get himself killed one more time.
TP back, but if you had told me up 30,000 net worth that team would be the one to lose their racks first, I wouldn't have believed you. You had told me they were the first ones to lose a tier 3, I wouldn't have believed you. But both those things have happened in I think Bright is just being too loose with how they're going and using their advantage.
Yeah, they need Zhang Yu to get the split off, to control the fight after BKB. Like, they have window of opportunity now to just close out the game. If Tiny dies, they still have damage. You have Zeus, you have Hoodwink with Crystallis, Gleipnir, Ancient Guardian, so there's going to be a lot of bounces from Acorn Shot. And of course, Centaur with his shard. He becomes super tanky. Eternal Shroud, this is where Centaur starts to really shine. 6,000 HP already on him.
Only 6,000? Well, sounded like that wasn't a lot.
No, it definitely is not. For this stage of the game, he can still get bigger, replace Gem with another item, upgrade his Blink Dagger, pick up the cart, which is now actually good.
Is it though?
It is. It is. People are still picking it up even in the previous patch, but now it is better.
I feel like I'm yet to be heavily convinced from the games we saw together. But I don't know. If I get convinced, I'll probably be on the cart train forever. 21,000 net worth lead. Roche potentially up in another minute and a half. That's Ninja Gear getting used by Tiny, looking potentially for a pickoff again. I think this Bright team just has to stay as 5.
Hold hands together, try to get an opening. Problem is they don't have that Blink initiation stun. It needs to be Nick surprising you with Vendetta, and at this stage of the game it gets pretty difficult,
Right.
especially if Dark Horse are going to be inside the base, so you don't get that Blink stun initiation, so you need to start fights differently. Zhang Yu does have Blink Dagger on Brewmaster, but that's also not the tool. That's not how you jump in. Also, if you use X Mark, it gives them opportunity to use a Glimmer Cape or whatever is necessary, a BKB, depending which hero we're talking about.
So we'll see as Yukio here with Zhang Yu. The side of Dark Horse can truthfully pull this all the way back. I want to say you catch them without buyback again, and you could potentially rip through their base and finish this game with Tiny. He's using that ninja gear to move towards mid and clean up some creeps. And honestly, he's the one putting pressure on Bright.
Even with no buyback available, he's playing super aggressive. We'll reset in the next 3 minutes, so probably waiting for that. They don't want to make like too aggressive move. He also needs a little bit of extra gold to get it.
They're playing across the river, something they haven't really done all game. Crazy to think that they have been consistently up about 20,000 net worth for the last 20 minutes. But
It just
I've almost felt like they're on their heels.
Did they just glyph tier 2 tower in the top lane?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, the glyph's down for Dire side for another 5 minutes.
That's basically your last glyph. Interesting.
They'll come in, hooks up. They've got the primal split. They look off to the side, the bushwhack thrown out, not going to connect with anybody, but Tiny looking for an opportunity in, and the side of Team Bright have already retreated.
They will have a hard time pushing the high ground. They're waiting for the next row, so Kyo can get the Aegis on Weaver. Buyback on Tiny will reset.
I believe it'll also be Ag's Blessing, right?
On Dire side, yes.
Yeah, it's because it's the third Roche, yeah.
Dire are scanning.
30 seconds to go. Little vision obtained, information obtained there with Thunder God's Wrath. Again, Tiny leading the charge. Finds this Brewmaster and gets him. 2 minutes,
What is
no
this
buyback.
damage from Tiny? Like, what is that?
The
Blinks
tosses
in.
are so much damage.
Deals 2,000 damage in 2 seconds. If Jin can get a
forces
grip
you
off
back.
just for a second or two. They're going in.
Yeah, they're gonna go for this. They've got the Torrent, the Tidal Wave pulling back to Tiny. Lotus Orb on small KK. Yukio trying to put that damage out. Uses an early time lapse. Ghost Ship comes through but doesn't land. And they stampede away. They bought back on Brew.
There's a lot of weird decisions in this game with the buybacks and everything. Jin is gonna be the one that drops. He buys back, has TP available. There is a creep wave, but they need to catch more. They need to be able to get something done. Okay, Yukio. The damage is there. Mindbreaker, Swift Blink, Daedalus. And now they're not done. Let's see if small KK can catch a Centaur, but that's the most difficult target to kill.
I don't know, Unid, they've been able to rip through. I feel like it's the Tiny that's the hardest to kill for them in the moment. He's using that ninja gear and going for the Wisdom Rune. He wants to be level 30. They buy back on the Bane. They've got the Gleipnir on a 999. Small KK TP's in, but he's going to be nightmared up immediately.
Brewmaster is the one who bought back, and now he's playing the bottom part of the map. Didn't get any
he's not
value
here.
whatsoever from his buyback.
And now Roche is bottom, so it's going to be Refresher Shard instead. And Roche's banner. Tiny trying to get 30. Or even, honestly, the level 29. The toss requires no target. You need to be careful. This Tiny will blow you up in a heartbeat. As 999 is the one just kind of scouting around here. Has to be careful. He's been caught within Sentry Wards before, so... They stampede, they throw the Gleipnir out. They've got the Nightmare, the Dust. Like I said, they'll find him. And this is a Bane that's got an Axe, so there's no way of stopping that. They also kill off his Courier that had a Blink Dagger.
Telescope, Etherland's Bane with Aghanim Scepter. You're gonna have a hard time catching him in the middle of a fight. Zeus ulti to scout things out.
Just let me scout things out. And Weaver just stood there. He's dead. He time-lapses back into the fight. But now he's got to make something happen, because if he buys back, if he dies again, I think this game is just over. They'll get Aeonid. They've got this Torrent onto this Tiny. They have buyback available on him, and he's going to TP in.
They're both TPing in.
Can they continue to fight?
They will try to backstab.
They're going to try and backstab. They get the kill into TK. They'll take out the Witch Doctor. He's dead for 100 seconds. Everybody alive on the side of Dark Horse. Yukio needs to be careful. They need to be careful. The Tiny's going to hone in on this. Tiny comes through. Avalanche. The toss is the problems. The kill. Yukio's gone. Oh, no. They've caught Team Bright now without this Weaver for 2 minutes, and they want more.
They want to close this one out. They have 5 members available.
Behind them, I mean, KK's trying to fight Zin as well as Han.
Oh,
They've got a
he
split
catches
fight.
him.
They get the catch here on the Nyx Assassin, dead for 2 minutes.
That's AC that's about to be finished on Tiny. Let's see. He's going to sell his Echo Saber and buying AC. They're going for an end. There is Glyph available for Team Bright. Radiant will also pop the Glyph. They try to save the creeps, I believe, but it was not enough. These 2 toss charges from Tiny are doing way too much work against Weaver. He gets tossed again. Couple of right clicks into Avalanche, into like 1 bolt inside the Nimbus. Selazutra, he's going.
KK, oh boy.
2, dead.
He's dead. He's got buyback, but you're just standing there to get tossed into the air. You're getting juggled.
Centaur in the middle of a tier 4 tower's not caring. He has 160 HP regen, so basically full
There's
HP all the
Fiend
time.
script.
They need Maledict on him, and he missed.
Uh-oh. They've got the Glyph. They have 1 more tier 4 remaining. Here comes the Tiny with a BKB ghost ship flying in. It's a fleet of boats, but it is sinking like their hopes in this game. Bushwhack again. Tiny focusing the towers, going for the throne, looking to finish it off. The Dire's Ancient down to about 2,500 health as they get that kill on a TK.
Tiny's
They'll
going
lose
for it.
this Kunkka. This is going to be the game stolen away from Team Bright. They still have a net worth lead, but they lost.
Against the Storm Spirit, and most importantly, the Aghanim Scepter, which allows you to dispel yourself great against Pugna, so that matchup isn't that bad anymore, and also ability to dispel enemies, so you can dispel the Grimstroke Inkswell, which is basically his strongest ability. And we can go through some of the faucets. Nothing too crazy, I would say. Cluster Clock, Horsepower, Insurmountable, Frozen Expanse for Crystal Maiden, so she gets more AoE bonus and cast range bonus. Storm Spirit with the slide, Static Remnant, so you don't necessarily need to put yourself in a position to get close. You can vector target your Remnant, and then having Pugna is the one with the Siphoning Ward. It restores mana and HP whenever Nether Ward deals damage, so that's going to be pretty nice. Makes Pugna super tanky in a fight.
It helps that damage to mana as well. You know, it's pretty good for the team around him as well. So, as long as you have mana here for Pugna, as long as you have HP, you can keep your team alive, I would say, for Pugna, if you find yourself the right positioning, right?
Yeah. Whew, that hurts.
Yeah, that is no joke.
Stroke of Fate. And just one God's Rebuke.
I'm ready to see how 999 plays now that he's not on this Nyx Assassin, right? Like, he felt very playmaker to me on the Nyx Assassin, but I don't know if he's going to be finding the same looks as a Shadow Shaman.
Definitely not. Completely different hero. This hero needs to keep the distance, needs to have good timing, great positioning in a team fight. And things are not going to be as easy. You're playing against the arena, as we said. At this one, I am heavily favoring Dark Horse's draft, but we also seen a lot of mistakes being made by both of the teams, so kind of hard to tell who's going to execute better. In the first game, Bright did make more mistakes.
Definitely more costly mistakes, that's for sure. And wondering how quickly we might see maybe the CK go off, or if Han wants to get involved early. You were talking about Eternal Shroud for the Storm Spirit. Do we see still the Meteor Hammer early on?
No, not early on, but potentially an item coming out, because you want that Kaya upgrade. Kaya Sanj doesn't feel as good anymore, ever since we removed the status resistance from it, so you can, like, the timing that you're looking for with your Meteor Hammer is level 20, because Electric Vortex duration 0.3 seconds, Meteor Hammer channel time is 2 seconds, so you need that extra bit of duration. Sheep in trouble.
Yeah, might drop for first blood, and will. TK gets the kill there. Canadian to at least get a trade, not looking likely with the Frostbite on him. Level 2 for TK, so no trade, and first blood for Team Bright. Kind of catching this Grimstroke a little bit too far out, and level 2 should take that Inkswell and will, so now they've got that combination potentially working for them for the side of Dark Horse.
Tiny might be a too difficult hero to kill, especially if he's sitting at full HP, 8 magic stick charges. This hero gains quite a lot of strength for level 4.
Look at the damage here onto this CK. They just need a sliver of health more to kill him off, and they got the right one. But Zin dies for that, and it leaves the CK with not a lot of health.
Cluster Clock is such a powerful tool, the foul play, and then having Cluster Clock on top of it, it feels really nice. If you have any kind of AoE damage, or I think the issue in this one is going to be, even if you survive, if there's a healing ward, you're still going to kill yourself to it if you use any of the abilities. Sheep again, bottom. This time he's going to be fine.
Shaman getting that Lotus as well. So healing Lotus for the side of Radiant, and things looking pretty good overall. We'll say the one lane that's looking good for the side of Dark Horse is mid. Han, net worth-wise, is 600 gold ahead.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Quite a lot. Small KK trying to play aggressive. Han is about to crack level 5. Tiny going for the same item. Same item build. Orb of Corrosion being delivered on the courier. Maybe the reasoning is early on you want to have Ring of Protection because you have 0 armor on the hero, and then you want to upgrade that, have a slot. All you need is attack speed, and then a little bit of extra move speed slow could make a difference. So I'll pay attention to what other regions are doing when it comes down to Tiny's first starting item.
Might be interesting to see if we start seeing this be the norm, right? Because we've kind of talked about this item before where it just feels like it's a big expense early on.
It really is. It's almost 900 gold. In this game, it feels much better, I would say, playing into CK so that he doesn't get that extra lifesteal, reducing it by 20%. Same goes for Pugna when he's trying to use his life drain.
So, definitely an interesting topic to kind of keep an eye on, especially right now. I would say 2 very opposite regions going on for TI qualifiers at the moment, NA and China. So, definitely the mindsets of both those regions in terms of item builds can be very different. So it would be interesting to see if NA builds it.
NA is on a different level.
Oh, they always have been. Always will be. 999. Gonna be pulled back. Blood Grenade and...
Blood Grenade missed,
Well-
actually. He pulled him in with Reality Rift, and it did miss. I don't think it would make a difference. Also, pretty difficult to bring him down with the foul play.
TK's here.
Does reset. He's ready to go. 999.
Early stun. Not sure that's gonna help, but here comes this Han Storm Spirit. Trying to at least get a kill here onto this Shadow Shaman. Uh-oh. He gets away.
Courier has been killed.
That
Han has
is...
some mana. Let's see.
Oh, boy. They got him. All right.
It's such a powerful innate ability on Shaman. Running around and making confusion. Like, you need to waste more time. You need to waste extra mana to try to get a kill. Unit is being pinged bottom lane. They know that there has been a rotation, and Small KK making his first move. Should be an easy kill here.
Has Astral Step. Oh. All right. Astral Step again, and Aeonid will die. That looked really weird. I don't know if it was the same on your screen, but when he Astral Stepped and got tossed, it looked like he got tossed into oblivion.
Astral Step and Assimilate. Now creep skipping. This is the catapult wave. 7 minutes also approaching. Small KK doesn't have a remnant, so can't really pull him in. Inkswell, Avalanche, who's gonna get it?
Oh, the Wisdom Rune by Small KK. He doesn't have any mana to really work with now, but he's got that bottle to sip on because he picked up that Wisdom Rune. They're gonna need more help to clean up on these kills. If they can kill off Yukio, that would be big for them. They'll at least get that. They look for a second. Stampede's not gonna help out. Han with the double kill. You lose that Wisdom Rune, which is terrible for your supports, but Han getting the benefits of it.
Supports were there, so I don't think losing that Wisdom Rune for Dark Horse doesn't really matter that much. Sure, you would want to pick it up, but collecting XP from those 2 kills, look at the levels. Pugna has been in the mid lane, level 5.5 already, and Grimstroke just got his level 4, so in terms of the numbers, there hasn't been much loss for Dark Horse with this XP rune steal.
Looking mid. 3 heroes here for the side of Team Bright.
Dire's middle tower
But nothing
is
doing. They're going to smoke, actually, and go towards top. All right.
Small KK will be almost impossible to kill in this engagement if he pops the bottle. Shield Rune, Resonant Pulse, all damage barrier. Lanfair, Silizutra.
Hell is other people, and they are really trying to be Dante's Inferno at the moment. Stun thrown out. There's the Reality Rift. Arena used, and
Needs
they've got
the bonk.
the Hex. They
Needs
have
the
the
God's Rebuke.
Shackle. Can they save him? No, not really. They'll lose the CK, but can they get more? The Vortex to pull back. Dang you, and they find the Silence. Blade Mail early, but not going to be
Hogging
enough
that
for the
raindrop,
deterrent.
keeping
They
him
get
alive.
the kill on a Zin. They'll lose a 2 for 2, but if you kill small KK, which is going to be tough, got 3 sips on this bottle. It feels like it's almost impossible. Astral Step in 7 seconds. They do find him, though. God's Rebuke. There's the Dissimilate going up north. Astral Step, and now the distance, the TP, and the escape.
Still not too bad of a trade. I think A-Unit, as long as he's having a good game, which he's really not, but they need to find a way how to make him get to his Blink Dagger, because this arena, you saw it on 4 heroes, pretty much gets God's Rebuke onto 3. Supports are almost immediately gonna die. Also, Unfair needs to catch up with his farm. Pretty standard stuff on CK, going for Armlet, going for his Orchid, and then picking up Mantis Style now that Phantasmagoria, or sorry, Reigns of Chaos, whenever he creates illusions, it does have 50% chance of creating an extra illusion. It does work with his ulti, it does work with items, it does work with him picking up the illusion rune. Anything that is illusion based does work with it. Even enemies, even Shadow Demon, for example, using Disruption can get, he does have 50% chance of creating enemy CK illusion.
So, I know you're a big fan of the names of innate abilities and facets. I really love Reigns of Chaos because it's Reigns is you're honing it in. That's why you're getting that extra illusion, but also Reigns like a horse. You've got the reins, and I don't know. It's something
and
about
it also
the
reminds me of Warcraft 3, the old days. You know, Reign of Chaos.
Yeah. I'm going to say yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to say yeah. I'm a poser. What can you do?
Yeah, you should have said, yeah. Just sound excited.
It was yeah, until I had that second thought where it's like, Ben, you're being a liar right now. Stop it.
You probably thought about we mentioned it. You probably thought about your favorite team.
Hyper Glory team?
Hyper Glory team.
Instead SMJ?
Yeah, now you know because you checked it. But
well, now I'm not under as much pressure. So it feels a lot easier to get that out now. 2,000 net worth lead here for Bright, by the way. A-Unit's starting to get a little bit back. He's bottom in the cores, but he's getting some space bottom. I think he really needs to get this blink as quickly as possible. Put himself in a better spot. CK, Armlet, Orchid on the horizon.
Very fast farming hero, especially now that you get that extra 50% chance, because Phantasm is used every single time it's off cooldown. You want to push the lanes, you want to get that extra gold out of the map. So with extra illusion, you can push out the extra creep wave.
On. Ooh, Aether Remnant, they've got the silence. There's the Hex, Serpent Wards, and On should be able to get out of that. They drop down the arena, they get a kill on a TK.
And should be able to finish off all of these Serpent Wards. Bright did not want to commit. I think once Tiny picks up his item, Echo Saber, he's going to be ready to join. Maybe a Blink Dagger afterwards. And now Smoke from Dark Horse. They want to punish. They see Tiny exactly where he is. This Observer Ward. Don't go for the creep camp. Into the enemy jungle.
They gotta find him. Inkswell, Avalanche. The Inkswell pops. They've got the Vortex, the Life Drain, the Silence, and dang, you trying to get here to help out. The Host Stomp. Oh, Yukio's so low. The Ball Lightning in. They finally get this kill.
Big
the Freezing
ulti
Field
from
from
CM.
CK. Han. He'll have some help from the Life Drain from Zin. He's gonna survive too? Host Stomp off the mark. Inkswell doesn't land, but somehow everybody from Dark Horse escapes.
3,000 damage from Storm Spirit early on. Jhin needs to use the life drain on himself or use it on the neutral creep so that he can replenish some mana on Han. Kaya now completed. Already on Han. 0 deaths on him. 6, 0, and 1. Playing off the Pagana's life drain. Getting that extra mana. It's not as strong as it was before, but it gets the job done. You don't necessarily need to go back to base as a Storm Spirit, which feels nice. I did talk about him not getting a BKB, but he is kind of rushing it this game. There's a lot of stuns. There's a lot of control. Because he also has a big streak. I think it comes down to that. Does not want to feed away the gold. And it also gives him free jump. You're playing against Crystal Maiden's Bite, against Shadow Shaman, he gets the Hex off, he gets the Shackle, you're gonna die, but if you... Because 15 minutes in, Grimstroke is gonna save enough money to buy a shard, and then you'll have the spell mechanic, it's a strong dispel. But you also want to have protection of your own. There it is, the kill.
Oh.
500 gold for TK.
They're gonna need another on Sheep. He has to really run if he wants to get out of here safely, but they've got Aether Remnant, which doesn't quite connect.
He found the spot. He's like, yeah, it does not connect there, but it also gives them slightly more time. Dark Horse, they want to farm the next set of items. The big timing for them is going to be CK with his Orchid, which he's getting close to. Needs another 1.5, 2 minutes to finish it without dying, and also Aeonid to pick up his Blink Dagger. He's been in a bad spot. Big difference in two offlaners, 1,400 gold difference. Jinyu has Blink Dagger ready to jump in.
Careful. They'll pull in the Shadow Shaman, 2
stomp.
second stun. And now look for the hook stomp. They've got the arena down. They go to the Vortex. They've got the Spear. They get the kill on a small KK. They've got the Void Spirit. They'll take on the Centaur. How is this turning around so well for them? They lose their CK. TK's next on the list. And if they can take him out, they'll knock him out with a TKO. They're really chasing. They really want to find this Crystal Maiden, but eluding the pressure.
Space created. Tiny's pretty happy about this one. And they see him. They see him top. This was beautifully executed.
What?
They immediately popped the arena. They grouped up. It looked like a really good initiation from a Centaur, but no immediate follow-up. Small KK was slightly too late. Took him 1.5, 2 seconds to respond. And then Grimstroke with the big play. Soulbind, Phantom Embrace onto 2 of them.
They really turned around pretty quickly. It felt like they had the upper hand for Bright for a second. But Han, he is playing out of his mind at the moment. I know he had that 1 death, but he's looking good. He's looking clean. And Aiden getting that boost in gold means he's got Blink Dagger now. He's ready.
Just a Blink Dagger sitting on 700 extra gold. He's back to the game.
So let's see what else they can find, as it feels like they're sitting waiting mid. Arena back up in 10 seconds.
Shard available on Grim.
Has that upgrade to the Inkswell.
You know what I want to see? The foul play. The cluster cluck, that's all cool. But I want to see Giga Ward from Shadow Shaman.
I like Giga Ward.
It's kind of bad. I don't know. This one feels much better.
Takes like 10 hits to kill. It's insane. And it does a lot of damage early. I think it's underrated. Coming from my bracket, my undisclosed bracket, I think it's good. Potentially. In the right hands.
I like how you added potentially after a short silence, just to make sure.
After no confirmation from my very high-ranked analyst, I was like, maybe I'm wrong. All right.
This is what I do when I'm giving my friends life advices. Anything related to life, I just add LOL at the end. Just, you know.
Yeah, you should really do that, LOL.
If it backfires, we can go through the receipts and check that I said LOL, which means that I didn't really mean it. It was a joke. I was being sarcastic. Yeah, exactly.
I feel that. By the way, Storm, I'm wondering if after he lost that... hold on.
Getting the kill on 999. After Storm lost the streak, he's been holding the gold.
Thinking, because Ogre Axe builds into Eternal Shroud, and he's probably thinking,
No.
not anymore. Okay.
I was like, there is a lot of thought happening.
There
And
is.
next is actually going to be Perazzi.
If he's jumping in, that's
Yeah,
gonna
looking
be.
for TK.
Ooh, he blinked into a stun. Into bite.
Yeah, that's the
Arena
problem.
with the tree.
Aided is going to die here. They've got the arena down. Can they turn this into more, though?
BKB
Soulbind freezing
just got
field.
delivered.
They've got the root, and Han gonna ball lightning away, but the life drain from Xin is enough to get the kill. They've got an avalanche as CK was looking for something, but a trade made, and honestly, an even one from Dark Horse.
So didn't even pop a BKB. They're also controlling runes for Han, which is really nice. Not the best execution in this one, but it gets the job done. 1-for-1 trade. I don't like this Meteor Hammer on Void Spirit. It gives good stats. It gives like 24 intelligence, so that's pretty nice. Gives spell amp and mana regen amplification 75%. I don't think you should rush this item on Void Spirit. Aghanim Scepter feels much better, and also there is an Orchid available. Like if you want to rush something, I'm down with Manta Style into Ags, or just straight up Ags. You're playing into Storm, Pugna, and Grimstroke. If you're getting the first jump, that means that you're bringing these heroes down from 100 to 0 with your AoE control, with your CC. And now things are looking good for Dark Horse. They managed to stabilize. The one thing that we haven't seen from Bright is Ukiyo joining the fight. Did pick up a Blink Dagger, Echo Saber on Tiny, going into BKB next. So we've seen that Tiny, as a carry, they need slightly more farm. They don't get involved in these like early engagements compared to some like other safe lane carries.
Yeah, not getting involved just yet, but
Is under attack.
cleaning up a lot of farm. The thing is, if you save up all this farm, if you get this far and you don't get anything out of it, whereas maybe they turn it around where Han was very patient on that BKB, got it delivered, could have just popped it and went for broke, but I respect the patience, and maybe that 9-second BKB is going to be the difference maker when they fight Ukiyo for the first time.
Ooh, another rune for Han. Region rune, they're going to immediately smoke up. Tiny has been in this top part of the map for the last 10 minutes, probably. Like, he's been sitting underneath the ward multiple times. Now they have vision around that area, so we'll see if they decide to approach. And now swapping the lane. Lafair Silizutra. Carry against carry in the bottom lane. He needs to fall back.
They're not near him. They can't help him if he gets got on in the moment. Ooh. Not going to spot him. Both teams avoiding any pressure. Just barely. Just getting close. So, nothing happening for the last few minutes or so, but it does leave this CK to get this Manta and Tiny close to this BKB. On to that last component. So I'll take the tier 1 up towards top, and it's a close game. 21 minutes in. Last game, it felt like it was all Bright until they let it slip through their fingers, and I want to say Dark Horse are playing this one way better.
For sure. Team Bright will wait for BKB on Tiny to try to make a move. Centaur is not close to his item, but they will be Aghanim Scepter on small KK. Glimmer Cape available on Shadow Shaman. Crystal Maiden has Solar Crest, so a lot of defensive tools, a lot of ways to amplify damage on their side, and a lot of survivability.
Things getting all of a sudden very quiet, and who do you think that benefits the most?
If we look at Dark Horse, what they're gonna get for their next round of items, Witchblade, which is not that impactful. He's already sitting on a BKB that he didn't use, and then there will be Manta Style on CK. Mars, he is bringing something on the courier. It is full BKB, so they're gonna be fight ready right now. It's just the timing is slightly off. He needs courier to deliver it, and Stampede immediately to run away. So Zhang Yu gets out of trouble.
Top lane, and can they kill the Shadow Shaman? No, they
Nicely
cannot.
done. Let's see if he buys dust immediately. on the courier.
It's usually the big go-to, right? You miss somebody because of invisibility. You don't want to give them invincibility. You want to have that dust ready to go. He's got that Manta. No dust with him just yet.
His courier just got back. I mean, just delivered it. He was outside the base already. But yeah, get rid of this magic stick or just put a dust or two in your backpack. We'll need it to kill off the Shadow Shaman. That's a big kill. This is like 400 plus gold for you.
They find small KK. The damage, though, not going to be enough, and Han's not there in time.
Needed like half a second. Would make a difference to get a kill. One Ferricel Zutra going through the Twin Gates. Now going to play the top part of the map, goes through the bottom, uses his Phantasm.
Used a lot of mana for that, and I thought maybe they'd make a reaction on it. But Han, now here with 3 of his allies.
That's a nice move from Bright.
CK,
I like this one. As we said, BKB on Tiny completed. Aghanim Scepter as well on small KK. There is no tier 1 tower, so they will need to TP to an outpost or tier 2 tower, and Roshan's dropping down quickly.
They're not going in, though. Han's not going that way. They're happening to kind of stumble nearby, but Roche is going to be there for Yukio, and I'm wondering if they just turn around and leave.
They can try to catch them off guard when they fall back. Right now, small KK is showing, and they're pinging it out. They know. It's going to be 4v5. He TP'd out already.
Yeah, they've got the arena. They'll find themselves at least the Crystal Maiden. Han will come in to help with the finish of that kill. Just the CM, though. See they get anything more. They are kind of sticking around and hanging and lingering on the side of Team Bright, but get behind that tier 2 tower. So that is all A-okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So tier 2 taking some damage. Maybe they want to react
Quick
on this
fingers,
one. They'll
dust.
find themselves the Pugna. BKB comes out pretty early. The buyback committed from this Crystal Maiden. As it takes a lot to kill off this Pugna, and they want more.
The buyback buttons, they need to change the hotkeys. It's been a lot of buybacks immediately coming out. Like, they can definitely wait, see what happens. Also using a TP immediately after, but Pugna is definitely survivable. You've seen him casting the Glimmer Cape, getting the Decrypify, getting the Life Drain off.
Able to survive, and I think, truthfully, a Pugna death for a buyback is
Definitely
worth it.
not worth it. You need
Well,
this
worth it
buyback.
for Dark Horse, I mean.
Yes, definitely for Dark Horse.
It's like, okay, we'll leave. Because I think Dark Horse thought about going back in, even with that buyback, but you start to do the values, you're like, all right, you know what? This is fine. This works out for us. I'm not saying Crystal Maiden's the biggest deal in terms of the buyback, but it's certainly something.
Definitely not, but you know that it's out of the system, and now Shadow Shaman trying to TP out. Cluster Cluck, not gonna help out. I like that Aeonid is like, okay, we can't kill Tiny, we can't kill Centaur, maybe we can catch Void Spirit off guard, but most importantly, I'm gonna focus on these 2 supports, because they don't buy into BKBs, they have Solar Crest, they have Glimmer Cape, and if I get to jump with the arena, it's gonna be guaranteed kills, so try to farm up, get to next round of items, try to delay this Aegis timing that I don't think Bright is gonna get anything out of it. I don't think they're gonna be able to, you know, get a good team fight or pressure the map as you would want to with the first Aegis.
Right, and that was Freezing Field used, by the way.
Dire structures are fortified.
It looks like they're gonna trade towers. Potentially, if this is taken quick enough, they might all go towards top.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Not the easiest to react to. Never mind.
Dire's top tower.
Small KK, Astral Step. Aether Remnant doesn't connect. Ain't able to escape that one. 17-10. This is a dead even game.
It really is. Han still holding his 9-second BKB. That's why I said that he doesn't need an early BKB as much. He did die once, but that was his first item. After finishing off Kaya, BKB immediately, and hasn't used it for the last 10 minutes. There it is now.
BKB
Gets the usage.
as the ink swell. Now the soul bind gonna go back in. They've got the vortex that pulls in 2 heroes, but will elect to TP out. Not what they were looking for,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
but it's really that first BKB usage after holding it so long doesn't get them anything. They're gonna grab this Tormentor, and that will be shard for Pugna. Starting to feel kind of the pressure being put on Dark Horse right now without that BKB and everything.
Dark Horse, they have 4 shards already. The only one who's missing is Storm Spirit. Everybody else purchased it. Compared to
Dire's middle tower has
Team
fallen.
Bright, only Tiny buys this one. That's carried Tiny, so no real surprise there. Aegis about to expire in 25 seconds. I think they can go. I think they should try to look for a fight. CK. Okay, he doesn't have his BKB, so might need to wait for that one. No need to rush it then.
Doesn't have that BKB, has 4,000 gold, just on the edge of having it. He's sitting top of the net worth, though. There's that BKB purchase. There's the Aegis expiring. So, can Dark Horse take advantage? They didn't lose too much during that Aegis time. Lost a couple towers, but they can make that back up pretty quickly, if need be. Small KK. Looting the presence of Dark Horse as they're starting to come through this jungle area. Not spotting anybody just yet, but they are grouped up, and it looks as though this is leading to be a smoke from Bright, with Dark Horse pretty close by.
Storm did pick up the Meteor Hammer. It's relatively cheap upgrade to what you get from your Kaya. Like the numbers, you get extra 25 mana regen amplification, you get extra strength, extra agility, extra intelligence. I don't know if I said that one.
Here.
Oh, Glimmer Cape again.
CK was looking to go in and make a move, but that was BKB used, and they didn't get anything out of that CK BKB. But on the other side, they were able to get kills there, and that's small KK going down. TK looking like they're next. Freezing Field's not going to last long. Han, BKB is going to run out in just a moment. With the Serpent Ward's committed, Freezing Field down, and Stampede used, there isn't a lot left in the tank for Team Bright initially.
I didn't even notice immediately that small KK is in. He jumped him and just died. I guess he got silenced or got stunned by a CK and brought down from 100 to 0.
I'm pretty sure
The rest of the team wasn't even there. Like, they were so far away, 1,000+ range away.
Yeah, he ends up away from his team. CK had popped the BKB mid, so he wasn't actually even involved in that kill. I believe it was a spear that connected off a silence from the Grimstroke. So Dark Horse get themselves a 4,000 net worth lead, and Tiny's got Daedalus going into the Shadow Blade.
Tiny wants to play the kind of assassin type of a game. Wants to jump in the back lines, bring the hero down from 100 to 0. He can solo kill Storm Spirit. He can, I don't know if he can solo kill Mars.
Under attack.
CK definitely not, because he's sitting at 4,000 HP, but Storm plus 2 supports, they can be killed from 100 to 0 once he picks up the Shadow Blade. Double hit, one of those being crit.
Radiant are scanning.
Could be disgusting, that's for sure.
Dire
Pugna.
are scanning.
Taking out Knobs, and they are sitting across the river. They've got another rune here for the Storm, picking up that shield rune. Roche back up in 10 seconds. It's a quick one.
Right.
Good fight here for either team could bring Roche.
Already setting
their
up
hands
vision.
next.
And it ready to to jump in. They do have gem available now. Blink, Yule Scepter, BKB, a lot of defensive tools.
Smoke broken. Small KK already trying to get out, but back in with it. Assimilate. BKB early. Ball lightning over. TK is going to be the one who's caught.
No buyback.
Stampede committed. Soulbind used. That'll
They're
connect
fine with this trade.
Small
BKB
KK.
on Tiny's the big one.
Yeah, BKB is not going to be up for much longer. Now they've got the arena. Oh, they came into this one. Spear used. Is the avalanche damage going to be enough? No, Yu-Gi-Oh's dead. They'll
CK's
find
cleaning
Small
up.
KK. They kill off 999. Down goes this Centaur. It's a full team wipe with Roche. Ready, packaged, signed, sealed, and delivered, ready to go.
They need to be the ones getting that first initial jump. They need to jump, silence the back lines, kill these two supports immediately, blow one of these guys with Tiny, make it 3v5, make it, make them use the buyback and then play off with your BKB. But they use BKB defensively. That was a nice bait from Grimstroke. I think he played the fight pretty well, cheap, using the Soulbind immediately onto Tiny, and then it connects onto two targets, so he's forced to use a BKB. And now with the Bloodthorn on CK, you will never lack damage. You will always have something, and this is even better now with his innate ability, creating, of course, more illusions. So you pick up a Bloodthorn, which means those illusions are dealing extra 60 bonus magic damage, and you're also building into Manta Style, something that you did not before, and it synergizes well with the Bloodstone. Next item, I want to see probably a Heart or AC on their side. He is tanky, but if the illusions are tanky enough, if they can't be killed off by Tiny, this is something that he will need to even focus in a fight, because illusions are going to go ham.
Just about now, Dark Horse not doing what Bright did in the last game and letting their advantage go to waste. I think that now that they've got the BKBs coming back up and everything coming their way with this Aegis, they should potentially go for it, right?
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, most definitely. Storm. Han is having pretty much a perfect game. Parasma, Enchanted Quiver, Meteor Hammer with that level 20 talent, so he can pull off the big Vortex
Radiant's middle
once he finishes off the Aghanim Scepter, which is 1,000 gold away. Sell his items and, well, pretty much have it. So Aghanim Scepter into Meteor Hammer in the middle of a fight, post BKB. Also allows him to play like super aggressive in the middle of a fight with the Aegis, and also that Ink Swell that we talked about, something that has been underlooked, I would say, in most of these fights, especially from Bright, not having anything to dispel it off with.
They're pressuring top. This could be a final fight if buybacks aren't appropriate here for Team Bright. Tier 3 tower, the banner is there. They have set their claim and they want to make it happen to shut this game out. They do not have buyback on Yu-Gi-Oh, the biggest damage dealer for them. Serpent Ward's even committed off to the side. These are stacked in the weirdest of places.
That's it. They're not going to even try to defend. The slow siege, BKB, available on all three cores from Dark Horse.
has fallen.
They fortified. They do lose their tier 2 bottom. They are going to TP and Ink Swell. They found Small KK. Ink Swell pops, but they've got the arena. Can they land the spear? They surely can. And it's going to get that kill on a Small KK. Despite the slow start for the Mars, he is looking pretty pristine the rest of the game.
Pretty much. And this one is hard to let it go. Tiny will need to go ham. Tiny did go ham in the previous fight, but this time around he's not as involved. He's been involved in only 5 kills, been pretty much farming this whole time. Can't really blame him. Like, you need as much damage as possible, but seems like Dark Horse, they want to close this one out. They want to go for another pick-off, and they have really good heroes to do so. Aeon Disc now on Pagana. As we said, there is nothing to dispel that with, so even if they get the jump, means he will get his Aeon Disc, maybe a Decrepify, maybe a Life Drain. Has a great Healing Lotus. Can make a lot of difference, and most importantly, he has a cast range items like Headband for his abilities to be used perfectly.
Vortex pulling him back, and now can they help out? No, the Soulbind. This is keeping Tiny close to the Centaur. The Reality Rift, the stun thrown over, and that's going to be Blink away to survive, but just barely. Freezing field for the illusions.
Somebody needs
What?
to deal with those illusions. CK with level 10 talent, the Reality Rift pull distance, it gets pretty big. And it also, the cast point has been improved, so it feels much nicer nowadays. One of the most obnoxious abilities to use when someone's trying to juke you in the fog.
They're smoked, but is this going to work out? There's a ward here, gets them vision. They find the CK. The arena's down, but it's not going to really be in a great spot. It's more area denial than anything. Serpent Ward's even committed again
KK.
off to the side.
Oh, God.
It's just not doing anything. Small KK is going to be killed off and dead for 80 seconds without buyback. That was Psychic Headband to push back the Tiny. The BKB comes out early, but this is a BKB that's not doing anything. And if they're able to re-engage on this one, that could be an issue. Han, he's ready to die. He's fine. He's got an Aegis. He's ready to go. He still has a BKB. He's happy to just let this one pop, or honestly, 10 seconds from now, just have it time out. Come back full health, full mana, go again.
He's ready to jump in as soon as he gets that mana back.
There it is. Has the mana back, ball lightning in, looking over for Yukio, right into the avalanche, has the BKB, has the pull on a 999, the Soulbind used again. They will get this kill into the Shadow Shaman, who also doesn't have buyback there, invading the base and looking for the kills. The Reality Rift is going to pull back the Centaur. The damage with the Bloodthorn, that's going to be a third. He's got buyback.
It was also a surround from CK.
So rough.
Love to see it. Again, we're going back to Warcraft 3 times, where you could surround enemy units, Night Stalker, or I forgot the name, where you use the sleep on him and surround them with the ghouls. Grubby still does it. And let's see, Ayunid ready to close this one out. Like this item build from him, picking up Yule's Scepter after a BKB, a lot of value. You've seen Tiny forced to use his BKB after getting Yule's. Unfair is in.
Just trying to fight this one out. This is a Centaur that just cannot fight back. TK freezing field, Yule's up into the air, ball lightning just playing with their food. Yukio dies, TK is dead, nobody's got buyback. They will find the life drain, they have the damage on a small KK, and they will call GG. It's a 2-0 for Dark Horse, eliminating Team Bright from this qualifier.
Yeah, Team Bright just making way too many mistakes in this one. I think they also got